Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living coach. How is everyone? I thought I would do a new video for the new moon that's coming up in Capricorn on January 12th. Hence, the blazer. Capricorn is our work and our legacy and our career. And it's about working hard and pushing through and being successful. It's also the slow and steady pace of working towards things that we really want. It's persevering through that. And because the new moon is conjunct Pluto, it's going to be very transformational, a lot of hidden stuff. All right. Now that I got that over with, Pluto, Capricorn, I'm changing. Just wanted to get into something more comfortable. Okay. Better. So that is a little bit about this new moon in Capricorn conjunct Pluto. There's going to be some things that are going to be shown in our systems and maybe our government and stuff like that. Hi, Miss Miyagi. She's really trying to get up here. All right. Are you in? Okay, you're in. Are you up? You're good? And kind of like what just happened. Like you can try to come to others with an appearance of being one way. But to be honest with you, I think it's better just to be who you are and be real and be honest and be upfront. I think a lot of things are going to be coming up, not only in our relationships with others, but also our relationship with ourselves and being honest with ourselves. I think some things from the underworld or the hidden or the unconscious is going to come to light. And we're going to be like, oh my God, why did I not realize that? Or why did I not know that? Or how could I be so, what is it? How can I be so numb to the fact or disillusioned or yeah, because there's just, I don't know. I personally was having a really hard time putting together the energy because there is so much changing leading up to that. I know on my channel, I always do moon cycles. However, this week is so transformational that it's hard to even give a report without the backstory. Okay, so that took a long time. Today, Mercury is conjunct Pluto. So our mind and our speech are more of there's more depth to it and not a whole lot of hogwash or, yeah, it's really hard to articulate. And with the moon opposing Neptune, we could not be seeing things clearly even in the other person. Like we might think someone is lying or deceiving us, but it could just be like something that we're just not seeing because it's super hazy because of Neptune. So today's January 4th. Hi. And that's when I'm recording this. I wanted to get this out early, and that's why I decided to do it today, even though I'm not completely feeling like doing it. The moon will be traversing Libra within the next couple days. And on Wednesday the 6th, this is when Mars finally goes into Taurus. Like I said in the last video, Mars has been in Aries most of 2020. And because of its retrograde, and it only retrogrades every couple of years. So it's going to be flying forward. Once it hits Wednesday, Mars, the masculine energy, is going to take a step back from all of the running in circles and the hard work and pushing forward and nothing really happening. It's going to go into a Venus ruled sign, which is about the feminine energy, but it is about what we love and like what gives us pleasure. We could slow down a lot as a collective, like a lot, and the masculine parts of ourselves and the masculine. So if you're on a twin flame journey and you identify with the divine masculine, then you're going to not feel so aggro or angry or impatient or just like this inside. You're going to start to feel a little more relaxed and just want to be lazy and just enjoy things like food or a good massage or something like that, or just the things that really make you happy, because there's just there is a lot of shifts in our relationships and our partnerships. And also the sun is square to the moon on Wednesday as well. So there is some aspects of like how we're seeing the world and our emotions, and then like how we're projecting ourselves. So this can create a lot of tension within relationships as well. And then Friday, so the moon moves into Scorpio on the 7th. And then Friday, the moon is in Scorpio, and Mercury moves into Aquarius with, guess who? Saturn and Jupiter. And they're all hanging out and they're having a conversation. And the conversation is about like what is really possible for this new world. How can we make change happen? And how can we come together as a collective with a pandemic going on? How do we connect? And Saturn's sitting there and says, well, you can't go out and do this. You can't do that. You know, there's a lot of things that are restricting you. And, but let's really talk about this. So Mercury's trying to have a conversation before Mercury goes retrograde, which is, happening at the end of this month on the 30th. So while Mercury is feeling energized and ready to kick it and talk about things, it's trying to get that happening and out. And Mercury is squaring Mars that day too. So there's a lot of tension between our masculine, wanting to kick back and relax, and then a need and a feel for making some necessary moves and having conversations that we might not want to have. Venus is entering Capricorn that day on the 8th. So yeah, do you see how there's like so much going on? It's really hard to put this story together and articulate it when I kind of have a feeling of what's going on and what's going to unfold, but I definitely wanted to meditate on it like a little more. But Mercury square Mars is happening. Venus enters Capricorn. Okay, so where are we? Venus enters Capricorn on the 8th. So the feminine is starting to become more serious about her health, more serious about her work, more serious about depending personally on where it is in your chart. That's where it depends on. But universally, the feminine energy is going to start being serious about the work that it's doing in the world, for sure. Venus is going to trine Mars on Saturday, the 9th. And so really enjoy this energy, because the masculine and feminine are going to be going through a lot for the first part of this year. They are going to be trined, and then February and March, they're going to have some tension and some things that are going to create a lot of insight and enlighten us to what we really want and desire in our relationships and partnerships. And then April and May, they're going to really start enjoying having those conversations and having those experiences that they had in order to be close and in order for them to be in union, which is happening in July. I think July 12th, Mars and Venus will be conjunct in Leo. And this is the area around where I believe the full moon in Leo that will be happening at the end of this month on the 28th. And it's really tying things up from when the North Node was in Leo in 2017. That's a long journey for this illumination that's going to be happening. And I think like a lot of this has been preparing us. So I'll give an analogy. So let's just say that 2020 was a time when we were given a box of like a puzzle, a box, a puzzle. Okay. This is a metaphor. Okay. So I can explain things a little clearly. In 2020, you received a box of puzzle pieces, which is the gestation. Note, this is not, you know, this box doesn't have a picture, a complete picture at least, maybe just a title or something. We don't even know what these pieces of this puzzle make up. Oh, shit. Oh, my water's boiling. Hold on. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I have some tea I was boiling and totally forgot about. Okay. So I'm going to have a little bit of coffee. Where was I? Okay. So I was talking about the puzzles, the puzzle pieces, and there's not a complete picture on the box. So they're just like these pieces. Then we started to separate the pieces. Like we were separating them by color, okay? And about like the edges, you know, because you just want to get around the edges to try to frame what this picture is. And that was kind of like our 2020. Then we were like seeing the same coming together, right? So after we separated all the colors and what looks like they go together, then we're looking at what pieces fit together. And we remember, you know, in 2020, we were all separating, like there was obviously, you know, this separation, this huge separation. But then within those separations, it was like people were coming together, right? like Black Lives Matter, and you know, even people and what they believed politically, right? So there was like the separation, but then also a coming together. And so this is defining the picture that's being built, that we're trying to figure out. And also note that that happened to us internally in 2017 when the North Node was in Leo, and we were learning about who we are outside of the group and what our strengths were. So now that we know we found out what our strengths are and everything, now we can connect. And then the universe was connecting us with all the soul family and the people that we needed to get together with to really, you know, fight this war, this spiritual battle. But now that we know our strengths, and then we can start connecting to those around us that share similar superpowers. Towards the end of 2020, we started completing the outline of the puzzle, the picture. Okay, so we kind of got the outline going. There's still a lot to be rearranged in 2021, and we are starting to see the bigger picture, and we know what we're being asked to do, and it's time to start implementing the new into our lives and stop waiting for the outside world to tell us it's okay. We are starting to connect the dots and coming back together where we were separate. Okay, we need to do this because the darkness cannot prevail when we come together and rise against that oppose us, and our happiness and our livelihood and our freedom and our self-expression and our freedom of speech. Let's create a beautiful picture together. And with the planets, the two main planets, Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, is really asking us to come together in unity and create the new world. And Pluto is remaining in Capricorn, making sure to reveal everything that is shady and no longer needed from the old world. So we don't carry those old world systems over into the new world. So, all right. So the new moon in Capricorn, we have a couple squares, okay? We have Jupiter and Saturn and Mercury squaring over to Uranus and Mars. So Mars is coming up to Uranus. It's gonna get kind of cray. Oh my God, cray. That is like unpredictability. Things are unpredictable. We got to just go with the flow. Let go and go with the flow. We have a desire for freedom and change and evolution within our lives. We are being asked to create a bridge between the area of our values and what we've learned in our new value systems and changing the way that we work to provide for ourselves. And this is going to be a little bit easier now that Mars is in Taurus, to really know our values, right? And to start implementing that in which we've worked hard for and we deserve as a collective. So as things have been changing so often, so are we. We are changing too. And even our finances are changing, and we might be feeling stuck, or we might be trying to figure out ways to restructure our life and to create some kind of structure and stability within the chaos. And that's okay, because we could do that. We are not necessarily, we don't have to take on the environment that we were raised in. Okay. Let's just say that. Okay. Let's say that you were raised in an abusive environment. You can work on yourself, transmute, be more aware, and transmute that energy and not be abusive. Okay. So we are not that in which that we were raised or anything like that. But our challenge is seeing past the Saturn restraints and envisioning really what is possible and how we can all create this new world as the old world continues to dismantle around us. Finding other ways of working in the new world. That's what we are all really learning, is how to create value and money and a living off of the new world, and maybe things that had maybe worked in the old world but not in the new world anymore. So we're blending the two worlds, and we're making them work well together in our favor. The all starts with our personal lives, and then it expands into our communities and into the collective, because we're all expanding, the world's expanding, as above, so below. So what is it that you desire to do? Well, where before it was something else. Okay. What is holding you back? And what will be the result if you follow your dreams and you're on purpose versus staying stuck in the old world? Okay. So let's say that you had let's just say that you had a restaurant. No, let's say you had a bar, because restaurants are still kind of in service. Bars are not. So let's say that you had a bar. So if you were to hold on to the old world, you'd just be waiting around until the government says it's okay to open up your bar. Or you could start doing something and transforming and transmuting that business in a way that actually works. Get creative. You could even think of other possible things that you could do, and maybe blend in the old with the new. Is there any way that you could work around the restrictions of Saturn? Does your business need to be adjusted? Maybe it could be used for something else. But yeah, so that's an example. Creating your own way in life is kind of necessary. Pluto is also, I talked about Pluto conjuncting the moon and sun, this new moon. It is a tight orb. Now, the new moon's at 23 degrees, Pluto's at 24 degrees, 23 is a 5. We're looking at a lot of change. I know there's going to be a lot of realizations and stuff like that coming up. We've definitely, have already experienced, like last week, of people trying to throw shade or gaslight or really project their negativity onto you. But you have to understand that if you're living in your truth and your light, then there's obviously going to be shade, because light casts shadow. So some people might be seeing how they were wrong, or they weren't on their purpose, and they weren't listening to their intuition. They were kind of going along with the flow and being a sheep. And so we want to move away from that sheep energy. But this new moon is a tight orb with Pluto, the planet of transformation. So it's going to have an effect on our emotions and our feelings. Some things might surface that have been deep in our unconscious. Some feelings could come up that you didn't know were there. You can discover someone's true feelings, including your own, and just be mindful about the reactions. They can come off as overwhelming and intense, like me today. We could see some hidden things that aren't working in some areas of the government systems that have created, even in maybe some of the new changes that have been made in our systems that are not working, and Pluto sextile the new moon. What? No, Saturn. Sorry. Neptune. Neptune sextiles this new moon. Yes, there it is. Neptune is in Pisces and it's sextiling over to Capricorn. Now, this is an opportunity to really plug in. Speaking of plug in, I'm going to plug in my light. So, okay, I'm back and brighter. Look at me. The sun was going down. Okay. So this is an opportunity. Oh my God. This is an opportunity to really plug in to the collective and your higher self, as the energy is available to be received and felt, and the downloads of information are coming into our visions and our dreams, and our unconscious is also being awakened and revealed. Now is the time to get excited. Write down all of your ideas and then create it. Things are starting to develop and become more clear as to where the universe has been guiding you. So listen and learn. So Saturn is squaring Mars, and we could be feeling that this like drive and motivation, but there is a challenge with the structures and the restrictions and what we can really do within our limitations. So instead of being frustrated and angry, create a plan of action. Once the restrictions are lifted, then we can move forward. But while we have restrictions, let's start planning a course of action and getting ready as much as we can. So when the green light says go, we're ready to launch something new for the new world. So the universe is asking us to be okay with the process. It's definitely hasn't been going our way all of last year for a lot of people, losing their jobs and trying to manage their finances. So being okay with the process and what you have learned, think on what you can take away from what has happened in your life and use it as a catalyst for change. Okay. Saturn says slow and steady wins the race. It's about having patience and trusting the process. Venus in Capricorn trines Uranus and Mars. Okay, this is good energy. The energy is available there, but we have to break free of our own limitations. Are you the one saying, oh, everything's all bad and the coronavirus and I can't do anything. I can't leave my house. I can't breathe. I can't. Or are you seeing the possibilities within the restrictions? You are a free person to make your own decisions. You have the power to break free within the restrictions around us and you, and experience abundance and happiness, no matter what's going on around you. Don't focus on what you can't do and your restraints. Focus on what you can do now and what is possible for the future. The masculine and the feminine will be in harmonious energy flow and are ready to work together to meet their long-term goals together. Having those much needed conversations to really push things forward. Some people will be ready to commit. Okay, Chiron sextiles Jupiter. Okay, Chiron is the wounded healer and Jupiter is expansion and luck. So there is opportunity to accept your shortcomings and the things that suppress and integrate possibility within that. When we release our fears, we allow opportunities in that will open up new doors. Venus square to Chiron. Okay, we're looking at the at our wounding and the things that hold us back, the things that make us feel weak and not good enough, and integrate through to the other side of what we value within ourselves. If you don't know, take a good look around. Who are you surrounded by? Who are your friends? Who are you in a relationship with? What is your living space like? You will see what it is by just looking around you. Now ask yourself, is this what I want to be? Is this what I want to reflect out into the world? Make some adjustments, removing all that doesn't reflect what you desire to be. Do you desire better relationships, better jobs, better environment, better friends, better emotions, better feelings, better commitments, a better health, better body? These are all questions that we should be asking ourselves, like moving out of our wounding and our self-limiting beliefs and moving into what is possible. So the last that I see would be Neptune square the North Node. The nodes, period. But the North Node. Neptune is the planet of releasing the unknown. It is the uncertainty and acceptance. The North Node is the point in which the collective should be focused on. And because Neptune is now in contact with the North Node, Neptune is playing an important role here. This new moon is about our work, our career, and our legacy. So there is a sense of unease, and we're being challenged by the delusions and the false reality that we're seeing projected either in our lives, on TV, social media, and our addictions and our escaping could be blocking our development and moving forward, and in choosing a new path as well. So we are split between two worlds, two desires, two lives, but don't let addiction cloud your vision for what you would like to create. This aspect is encouraging us to step forward in the direction of our desires and purpose, regardless of the uncertainty and the unknown. Picking the path of the unknown is not going to picking the path of the known is not going to create the evolution and change that we desire. But picking the path of the unknown will lead to something new, a new path. So if you haven't liked the destination that you've been getting to by your choices, it's time to change your choices. Because once we start making different choices that are choices that we've never made or the unknown, then it's going to lead us on a different path, hence a different destination and outcome. And it might just be the destination, the outcome that we've been desiring this whole time, but just didn't have the balls to do it. Okay. I said it, balls. So I have created a 21-day challenge. You can go to my Facebook, Lucid Living Movement, and it is starting on January 11th. And it's 21 days of eliminating something that you really either like and you know that's not the best for you, or you just want to eliminate it to get more healthy. But it's to eliminate to illuminate. So please join my Facebook page at Lucid Living Movement and jump in the group. It's free. And I want you to post what you're eliminating and maybe a new habit and the outcome that you want to get out of it. So I'm eliminating wine, and I'm going to incorporate a lot more working out and doing more videos, YouTube videos. So what is it that you want to create for this new moon in Capricorn? This has to do with just being being a better goat. What mountain do you want to climb? Do you want to climb the mountain to the top of a corporation? Do you want to climb the mountain of unity and relationships and friendships and a spiritual growth and self-actualization, illumination? What is it? Do you want to be the best you that you've always wanted to be? These are some of the last days of the old world. So who is it that you would be proud of when you're on your deathbed? Because the material stuff that Capricorn works so hard for, it doesn't go with you. But your knowledge, your experience, your soul, like who you've become, that goes with you. So keep that in mind. And I hope you guys have a wonderful new moon transit. This week is going to be a crazy week, the week of the 4th, because that's when I'm recording this. And thanks for hanging in there. It was not very easy doing this on such a weird day astrologically. So, all right, peace out, your lucid living coach, Karina.